welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. Today, we're working on a very easy gift to make somebody who either crochets or knits or does both, or someone who does maybe likes to paint, and you want to give them a little case or cover of some sort for their paint brushes, or they have really nice pencil crayons, or you want to make a little travel kit or something like that. This is the perfect idea for that. So what I have here is a small one that we did for crochet hooks. Mr. Clive is helping me out today. He insisted. So I'll show you kind of what we did. This is the one I did as just a sample, and what I want to give it away. And then I made sure that there was a slot here. You helping out, buddy? There was a slot here for a pair of scissors, whether it be just a pair of snips or an actual pair of scissors or something like that. But I'd place it so, you know, at least it had a cover. I was more looking inclined to make sure it had a cover, really, buddy, and that everything would stay into place. And what I did is I just made little sew lines, obviously bigger than the width of the crochet hook, and of course they get thicker as you go along. You want to play with that. And I just did a few. Sometimes they come in 12 packs, sometimes they come in 8 packs, sometimes they come in 6 packs, whatever is going to do it for you, or you can even leave a few spots for other needles or hooks or something like that. And this nice little travel case as well. And then you just kind of roll it all up. Very simple and easy. I used a couple of 4 patches to put this one together, and of course you can just wrap it either round either way, tie it with a bow, and then off you go. It's super easy, and you can give it as a great gift. Right, Mr. Clive? Not really helping, are you? All right, and you can use the ties as ribbon or rickrack, or you could even braid something or do a crocheted little chain and use that as the tie for it. There's lots and lots of options. So what we have going to go on here is one for crochet hooks and one for knitting needles, and I'll show you and give you all the measurements. Okay, I gotta get to work now, buddy. Say bye. You good? Okay, so the one for the crochet is 3 pieces of 7 by 15. So it's 7 pieces, I guess, wide and 15 inches long. Okay, and then I got 4 patches to put together, either which way you want to do them. It doesn't really matter. And that's going to make the front just very similar to this cover right here. So I'll show you. I don't think I got to show you all of it. There we go. So that's the front of that one. And there's the back. Okay? Or inside, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So put that there so you can see. Now you could line this as well. I didn't see the point of adding any bulk, but if you want to use extra batting that you have, why not? Do what you want to do. Okay, kind of like this yellow right in the center. And this is just one way to tie it. You could have it so you put a tie in the center, and as it rolls, the center is closer to the end tie, and you can tie it that way. Or you can have an end tie and a button in the center or something like that, or close to the end, and you can just wrap the little tie around the button. There's 100 different ways I'm sure you can do it. Just think about it. Actually, do I want to go that way? Nope, I don't want to go that way. There we go. Do the 2 light ones together. That looks better. So I am using my knee lift. It is a game changer. It definitely is. So that's just sewing those 2 patches together. And of course you could use just a bit of fabric that I have on this side. I actually have teacups. You can do whatever you like. Just kind of make sure that all those 3 pieces are pretty much the same. Okay, of course we're going to have to do a little trimming up here. So we can do that before we put them all together. So we're going to give it a little press. I'll press quickly here. Okay. Not sure where I got these 4 patches from, but they were already done, and I was trying to move some stuff around and trying to organize. Yeah, right. And I came across them, like, ooh, there we go. I like those. All right, so let's trim that up to fit our other pieces. We just need to take off a little bit here. Okay. And that makes all of our pieces together. Okay. And this we want to make sure is the same size as those guys. We need to trim off just a little bit It's all right, just doing some squaring up. You can do it like some crochet hooks are going to be a little longer. I don't think these really are too much of a difference between the sizes majority. So, you know, you can do whatever you like. So the one needs to be your background for your inside, and the other one needs to be your pocket holder. So whichever color you're going to use, or you can use the same like I did on that one, was just the white. I got the purple and the white here. And I want to make sure they get together first. So I've taken this one of them, and folded it in half, and then I'm just going to give it a little press. Okay, let's kind of keep that fold. Then we're going to place it on here, lining up the bottoms, the salvage edges together, or the rough edges together. And we'll put a couple pins in. And this is where you determine how many pockets you really want to make. So you need to make sure you got a place for your scissors, whether that's, you know, that one, or you know, by the other ones with the little caps on it. So you put your seam there, you put your pocket there. You know you're going to need about 1.5 inches to make sure that's going to fit nicely. So, you know, come straight down here, over 1.5 inches, and then, you know, we can do every inch as you get to the other side. And I left a little space, a pocket on this side, to be able to hold whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Maybe even a second pair of scissors or something like that, or even like a poke out tool, or whatever. I'm sure there's lots of ideas. All right, so we're just going to kind of putter around this side. And then we're going to go back up to the top. And make sure we kind of left a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches, that sort of thing, to be able to put those snips in, or scissors, depending on what size you got. You may have to use a bigger space, maybe even have 2 or 3 inches to accommodate for your scissors. Okay, and if you're concerned about maybe the bottom where the scissors are going to poke into, maybe reinforce that little section with a couple of, or maybe a piece of jean on the inside or something. I'm sure you can think of it. If you feel that it needs a little bit more extra care so it doesn't poke through, then go ahead and do that. Okay, so there. That should fit in quite nicely. And then even when rolling up, there we go. Very nice. And then, like I said, go to 1.5 inches. It depends on how big you want your space to be for your hooks or your needles. Your needles, you go 2 by 2, so you're going to have 2 of them. I just happened to grab 2 of these because I wanted to see if they were different length, and they are just slightly, not by much. So I still tried to do the average of making sure the tips and the end points were all tucked in within the roll. So we'll do that one next. Okay. Yeah, because you want to make sure you only got 1 hook, but you have 2 needles. So you want to make sure you're consciously aware of that to be able to allow space. Now you could use your fancy stitches coming down on these spots. You could have done your fancy stitch on this folded edge here all the way across, or put your name on it, or you could put the sizes of the needle space or hook or whatever's in there. 1,010 options for you. Oops. But do kind of give it a little back stitch just to make sure it's going to hold in there. And then just work your way. It's going to take me a little while to get used to that knee lift. But I have to tell you, I was like putting binding on. That is amazing. Okay. Now you can mark this all out and just kind of eyeballing it. This one would probably be the one I keep on my bedside table. There we go. Machine's working out nice. A piece some more of the live stream that we've been working on. So do stay tuned for it on Saturday at 1 p.m. We're going to be putting some more stuff together. So it's very pretty. It's looking very lovely. And I'm making it for my mom. Her birthday is just right around Mother's Day. So usually sometimes it actually is on Mother's Day, depending on when. But this year it's just after. Okay, and I'm going to leave another space here just because, you never know what I may need it for, or if I want to give this away, I want to make sure there's options for people. a little stitch down here, back stitch, and cut. Okay, now I have approximately 1 for my scissors and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pockets to hold whatever else I needed. Hooks or scissors or turning tools or what have you. So now that that is where we want it to be, of course we don't want things falling through. We want to make sure we put these two together. So we're going to put them the right sides together. So this is the right side of the inside here and the right side of the outside here, and we're facing them together. And what I want to do is with this tie, which is approximately, I don't know, 27, no, that'd be, well, let me 17, yeah, about 27 inches long. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever length you like. Okay. I folded mine in half, but if you happen to do 2 pieces, do 2 pieces. This was a 2-inch piece of fabric cut to length, and then I just pressed it in half and then fold those 2 quarters in half again, and then that's what gives that little piece. And I want to make sure this is getting tucked in on whichever side I, want to be as representation of the outside. So I really like this purple here, so I want that to be. I'm going to put that right in the center. Move it, shift it till it's nice and even, and then put in a few pins. And I'm going to make sure to start and stop at the opposite end. So when I'm starting and stopping here, I'm going to start here, do a little back stitch and then go all the way across, and then do a little back stitch over where it seals that little tie in over here, down on this side, and the same over here. But give myself a space to be able to turn everything right side out, so it comes, all your little seams are all tucked away. Okay. Now you can, like I say, you can use ribbon, you can use rickrack, you can use yarn, you can use whatever you like. Just make sure your little ties don't get accidentally sewn on the wrong other side. And of course, I'm sure it's plenty long. It doesn't need to be that long, but you do what you like. You have to accommodate for some stuff being stuffed in there too, right? Like all those the hooks and your scissors or snips or what have you. Yes, Pop and I have made great progress this week. We're feeling very, very well. We're getting a whole lot better. Let's put it that way. So, and I'm sure you can tell we're sounding a whole lot better. All right. All right, so I'm going to come up here, kind of leave a space over on this side, the opposite end of where that tie is, so I can turn this right side out. Okay, a little back stitch, come right to the corner. Lovely knee lift. Or you can lift your foot. All the way down to this side here. And now here's the spot where it's tied in. So we just kind of want to go over it and then back over it and then back over it again. Just to make sure everything's going to be nice and secure. Alright, knee lift here. Scoot across. And of course you're sealing up the bottom part so none of the hooks will fall out. Okay, up here, one more. Of course, and I have it positioned so it stops with the needle down. Of course, I backtrack there because now I'm back at where we started, and I have our little space gap there. Okay, so we take this and this, and we cut the scissors, and we made sure everybody is in the pool. As we say, we go take a looky-loo around the outside, and then we're just going to take this and poke everything out. This is where a chopstick, I thought I had that here, didn't I? There we go. Did I lose it? I don't know what I do. Oh, don't go nowhere. What I had. Oh, I'm losing it. That's okay. I can use one of these. Use the end of it. Okay, and then just kind of poke them out. Poke those corners out. Do the other side, but be gentle. You don't want to pop any of your seams. Just kind of gently come in there and poke that corner. Don't be too vicious. Sometimes you get overexcited. Okay, let's poke. It's a great gift to give to somebody who's, like I've said, a painter, crocheter, knitter, somebody who likes to keep all their stuff in a row, a carver, a wood carver, that sort of thing. Okay, now that you have it so it's flat, you got your right side's out. Tuck this little edge in here. We'll give it a little press. Tuck that. Make sure it stays. Try and line up. If you have the seams like I did, I tried to make sure the pocket was lined up with the outer edge seam. And then just come all the way around. Okay. So we can start off on this side. Oh, let's poke this corner out just a little bit more. Okay. There we go. Twist here. Now we're just going to seal up that edge. So we're going to start at the very corner. So when we come around, we're just going to come all the way around to this corner. And this is another place for a nice decorative stitch. If you want to use a nice decorative stitch to make this all prettified. Stop at the corners. And of course you're reinforcing the bottom part there where the bottom of the hooks are gonna stay, and needles depending on what size. Okay, lift up, and again, chance to reinforce the ties. So if you didn't do it on the other side, you can do it right now. Okay, and then lift. Oops, swing all those pins off. Probably would have pressed this before I sewed it. Whoops. You know what I mean. Alright, and then back to the beginning. And trim all your little threads off. Of course, there's a bunch on the centers here. When you start and stop, just trim those up. It looks really neat. There we go. Isn't that pretty? It's lovely. All the little hooks in there, and even if I had a big pair of scissors, that would fit in there. And then just roll it all up with everybody in there. Doo-doo-doo. That goes one side, that goes the other side, and you can just do a nice little, even if it's not enough to make a bow, you can just do like a little knot, and that ties it up. Isn't that lovely? It's a beautiful little gift. Why not? All right, so the same principle applies for the one we're doing for the knitting needles. We just want to make sure we're allowing for 2 needles to sit in there and approximately, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 spaces for them to sit in, and go from there. Okay, so and this one's got little teacup fabric on there. I don't even know where I got that from, but I love it. All right, so let's do the inside first. Whether it be crocheting or knitting or paintbrushes, anything in between. I think this would be a great gift for someone. Oops, we don't want one of those. That's a sewing. Hand sewing. Okay. I'll put one right in the center. Now you might want to mark this out, but you know, you can wing it like me. You can do what you like. Okay, I just want to seal this edge up nice. I don't want things moving, so that's why I always try and do this edge part here. Kind of keeps everything in place. Just want to cut. Okay. Now, to make sure you're giving the proper measurement, you want to give yourself, I'd say about almost 1.5 to 2 inches, you know, just to be on the safe side. So you can move that over a bit. Try and keep a nice straight line. Tack down. Measure what you need to put in the slots, and then go from there. Especially if you're trying to do a custom gift for someone. You know, we got Mother's Day coming up. We got Father's Day coming up. We need to honor those ones that fed us and clothed us, and when we didn't know what the heck we were doing. Okay, cut. And just put her on down, spacing them in between 1.5 to 2 inches. Seems plenty of room for the needles to sit in there. And Sometimes if you're doing socks or hats and stuff like that, you have 3 needles in one you work on, or you got 4 needles in one you're working with. So you need to make sure all those little spots are in there too. You may want to make maybe even a smaller little pocket section for some of those ones, because they're not as long as the normal knitting needles. Not the ones that I have anyways. So, or you can just slip them all down in there and you know where they are. Beautiful. Oops, forgot to back stitch there. And don't forget, you need obviously a place for your scissors, for cutting. You need to cut yarn or snips of some sort, and sometimes you need the plastic needle to rethread the thread back down in through your project, whether it be crochet or knit. Okay. Those are all things that are needed. And of course, you can leave a nice big pocket in here somewhere. Like if you feel that you want to keep it more towards the center or something like that, go and put like a big 4-inch pocket so you can put scissors or even projects you're possibly working on or just started on. If they got a little home for it. If you're always doing small things like baby booties or socks and stuff. Should leave plenty of room for lots of needles. Knitting needles, that is. Here, we'll do one more in the center here. And then one on the edge. And then just securing this side. All the way down. Okay. Right, there. That's the same thing with the pockets and everything. So we just want to take it, lay it out. We've got lots of room for these. I'd probably put them up this way because you can see what size they are. You know, this is a 4.5 millimeter US 6 or 9, and then the other one's a 4. It doesn't say anything else on that one, so I don't know what that was. Got it from somewhere. And then your right side you want to put together. Of course, that's a pretty little fabric there. And then we'll finish off this tie, because I did put 2 ties. I think that should be big enough to wrap around it, just in case. I made another one, but I think we're okay with the one. But maybe you may feel that you want to put 2 ties in because your needles are tall and you don't want them falling out. I think that's what we might do. Put a tie here and a tie there. There we go. Okay, let's finish off that tie. All right, under there. And of course, you can use a decorative stitch on this one as well if you wanted to. Or contrasting thread, complementary thread. You know, make it stand out or make it blend. Okay. Alright, now let's grab a few pins, get ourselves sorted here. Fold this little tie. These ones were only, I don't know, about 15 inches, and I just folded in the edges a bit. I'm going to line that one up there. So that is at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mark. And then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mark. That seems pretty good right there. That'll do. There we go, fold that back over. And then we're just making sure when we pin these, we're getting those little ties in their proper spot. Of course, tuck them into the inside because when they get flipped out to the outside, that's where you need them. Okay, a few more little pins in here. And we have our second little, these, you could pop off a few of these, especially if you've got a knitting club or even with your guild ladies for sewing. There's lots of them who do other crafts. So this might be something to inspire them to try something new they hadn't tried before. A nice little travel case. Or even just storage case. Okay, so I'm going to start over here, opposite from where those ties are, so I can leave myself a gap to be able to turn this around. Okay. A little back stitch, all the way to the corner, almost, just come about anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch shy, because you need turning space. Oops, I'm making a mess here. Oh, now I find it. It's just how it goes, man. Just how it goes. Okay, twist up. Alright, now here comes this time. Really secure those. Pin out. Hold that in place. And back stitch. All the way to the end. Lift up, and then leave another little bit of a gap so you can turn it. Doesn't need to be huge or anything, just enough to get everything from one side to the next. Take your pins out. Alright, got it all. Make sure we're all sewing. Check both sides. Make sure everything, oop, I forgot that needle in there, or that pin in there. Okay, I think we're good. Now take this and just kind of tug everything through, but be gentle. That's why you do the back stitching at the start and the stop. Okay, then we use the proper tool for Chinese food, sushi, and sewing. The chopstick. And then you have something else that you have created. And a couple of gifts, really, in a short period of time. Okay, so give it a little hand press. Okay, and we'll just give that iron this time. Instead of just thinking about it, we'll actually do it. Okay. Take this, I'm just going to try and fold these two little raw edges under and give a little press. So when I go to sew it, it might be a little bit more inclined to stay in. Super cute. Do very nice. And then we're going to come from one corner, go all the way across and down around. And then those, well, of course you get matching ones, right? And they're just enough to hide in. And then roll it with all the little buddies inside. And here, do a tie. And there, do a tie. Just trying to come up. There we go. Perfect little gifts for the other fiber crafter. All right, take care, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you Saturday at 1 p.m. for the live stream. All right, take care, everybody. Enjoy your day. Hopefully you make one of these for someone you love. Bye. Have fun.